The Renaissance was not only an age of art, science, and rebirth, it was also a time of authority and repression. And at the center of this power stood the church. The church was both the greatest patron of art and its harshest censor. Within the grand walls of the Vatican, artists created masterpieces dedicated to God. Michelangelo's Sistine Chapel frescoes, Raphael's rooms, the majestic cathedrals, all of these works were commissioned to display the glory of the church. But behind these achievements, artists often lost their freedom. The Inquisition was one of the most feared institutions of the era. It punished not only heretical beliefs, but also works of art that dared to cross boundaries. Some paintings were banned, some books burned. Because art was more than beauty, it was an idea, and ideas could be dangerous to authority. The story of Giordano Bruno is one of the darkest examples of this age. He argued that the universe was infinite, that stars were other suns surrounded by worlds of their own. But such ideas contradicted church dogma. In 1600, Bruno was burned alive in Rome. His tragedy was the price of Renaissance free thought. Galileo Galilei suffered a similar fate. With his telescope, he observed the heavens and confirmed that the Earth revolved around the sun. This discovery was one of humanity's greatest steps forward, but for the church, it was a threat. Galileo was tried by the Inquisition, forced to renounce his findings, and spent the rest of his life under house arrest. Artists felt this pressure too. Many could not freely express what they wished, yet some found clever ways to embed their voices in their works. A rose in the corner, a dove in flight, a beam of light streaming through a window, these were not mere decorations. They were secret cries for freedom. The church did not only suppress art, it also used it as propaganda. Gigantic frescoes, grand portraits of saints, vivid depictions of heaven and hell all were designed to shape the minds of the faithful. When you looked at the walls of a cathedral, you did not simply see art, you read the messages of authority. Yet it was precisely the suppression that gave artists another kind of power, resistance. Sometimes in the subtle expression of a face, in the play of shadows, or in a detail that seemed mistaken, artists defied the powers above them. They hid their freedom within the paint itself. Today, when we stand before these works in museums, we see not only beauty dedicated to God, we also feel the silent resistance of the artists. Those small symbols still whisper to us across the centuries. Art does not bow to oppression. The Renaissance was an age in which freedom and repression coexisted. The church tried to chain art, but the artists found ways to let light shine through the cracks. And that light still glows today.